I'm back. Let's get into it. Ooh, that's... Ooh. That's not what you want to see. Rain, I've made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say... Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Ah, yes, of course. My apologies, Rain. Being consumed by my research for so long, I am afraid I have quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. It's been on Reddit too much. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning, with a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides containing the memories of a party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandaemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions, Timaeus and Erathonos, was sufficient to restore order to the circle of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains. In the depths of Pandaemonium, a presence yet stirs, its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Not. Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memory stored within. Analysis of the pattern suggested a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole, and indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. That's interesting. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Good. I'm glad. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us, or will Rain grace us with his protection? I'm afraid he has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Rusnald. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandaemonium, where this all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion in case there are any unanticipated changes. It's probably a good idea. As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. You can't mean. Do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why, yes. That would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I have already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. I trust you to take good care of the laboratory in my absence. I like Claudian, he's pretty chill. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke only to you last time, none but the professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely after some time alone he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for this crystal seemed to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return I'm certain he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, Rain, it may be best to return to Pandaemonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandaemonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the Ancients, it's that they would have kept a thorough record of the results. Ah, brilliant. Delving into these records may shed light on creatures Rain has yet to encounter, if your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only his strength to carry the day. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. Yeah, that makes sense. Check the documents, make sure that... just see how things are. Quest accepted, let's go. Alright, unwelcome visitor. Alright, let's go take a look then. So many yellow quests. I guess they really wanted to get the lore fleshed out for this area. Be cool to go through and do those one day. The maze. Ah, I did not expect to meet you here of all places. You seek records of Pandemonium's creations? Master Timaeus has just finished perusing the very same. I should not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I have saved you the trouble and gleaned what information I could. Ah, so you know each other. I was dreading having to once again scour the archives, but perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. As should be, for I have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was assuming it would take a while longer. Or I'd have to do something, but I guess not. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandemonium's protective wards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Erythonos' capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently to master internment that he might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. So I guess he's working on just getting it by himself. That's pretty impressive. I thought he completely lacked the ability to do that. But if he can figure it out on his own, that's great. And since fate has brought us both here, I would ask that you accompany me while I attend to another matter. More idle suspicions that I would like to chase down. Rest assured, it will not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the entrance to Pandaemonium. That's a... alright. Ugh. Nexus? Nuus? Nuus? Is that a giant corn cob? Man, this place looks amazing. I wonder what the rest of the Unsundered world looks like. I don't imagine I'll ever get to see that, though. I suppose I'll settle for Elpis and what was the name of this? Amarat. Alright, Timaeus. As I have pondered our expedition into Pandemonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the warders we encountered felt for La Habrea, whether it be for good or ill. Hesperos and Erythonos were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looked to his father with bald hatred. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions toward a single individual are quite rare indeed. Damn, he's just trashing me, huh? Fuck. Naturally, I feel gratitude towards my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself, it is more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the reachers of Pandaemonium seem to view La Habrea with a feeling approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they all have been drawn to him. There were many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling besides. I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my questions to a member of the Words of La Habrea. My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Thanaeus. I understand you are conducting an investigation of Pandaemonium, and wish to know of its origins. Indeed, in particular I wish to know why exactly Pandaemonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the Words of La Habrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first I thought it would be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could easily be ushered into their new homes. Is it more than that? Because I was thinking that was probably the reason why as well. Imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the Words of La Habrea themselves. So... Given this, albeit limited information, I cannot but feel that the Academia Aniter would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? These are the fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandaemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmise, the majority of the creatures kept within Pandaemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet as the years passed, interests changed. Failures and creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically drew the attention of Pandaemonium's researchers. That is quite the change, and in fact it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be the subjects of research? Master La Habrea. Such authority is reserved for the Chi Ward, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So if Pandaemonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Habrea's authority, correct? I know not what you're suggesting, but the keywords also hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master La Habrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit, as of late, their communication has been somewhat sporadic, we have recently received a report from one of the keywords stating that all is well within Pandaemonium's halls. Which is obviously not true. Really? And you are certain that a keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communications suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their due diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That will be all for my prying. Then I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and that it would be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. Yeah, so it really feels like La Habrea is just being a dick, but you know, that might be a bit of like the bias from back in ARR. is like meeting him there. He was kind of a dick there too. So I don't know. All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain that we must return to Pandaemonium with haste. Alright, so there's a good chance that La Habrea is behind it, right? But then the question becomes why? And I imagine the answer to that has something to do with how they're experimenting with flawed research subjects. They made it kind of clear that the research subjects that they were gathering are just completely they're like absurdly dangerous as compared to like the normal, compared to like what they used to get from Elpis. And this all kind of started around when I would assume it started around when La Habrea took over as keyword, because the previous keyword, right, was Erathonos' mother. And if I had to guess, I'd say she was running it for a while, and then La Habrea took over. I don't know, let's just continue. I cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hands, and we should be remiss to leave Erathonos at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. Ah, shoot. He almost had it. I was waiting, I was like, damn it. I kind of wanted this story to be resolved with, like, him as just in charge of the whole place. He becomes the new keyword. Like, that'd be the ending I'd be happy with. Because I imagine La Habrea is the one behind this. And the dude's certainly qualified for it, as at least if he can get that internment spell down, right? Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. What? Who goes there? Heh. There is something to be admired in such single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. It's like those things that was like in like the Phoenix boss fight. It's like one of those things that was around it, but it has an eye, which is just makes it worse. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares. Have you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth? I know this creature. A familiar of the Phoenix. There, see, I was right. But that monster is locked away. That it is, in spite of the trouble I went to in freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must, but with control of Asphodelos wrestled from my grasp, 'tis simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words, I will find you, and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there is no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course, the wisdom of La Habrea, your father. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I have heard those words many times, the scolding of a tutor whose students struggle to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I have not told that to anyone, not even keyword Hesperos. That can only mean one thing. That still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, La Habrea. At last, you move to keep up. Pity that you remain behind nevertheless. What? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer you an escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandemonium's great experiment. Ugh. There's the affection I remember. Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What? What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred, is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you? Uninvited guests join our reunion. It seems fortune no longer favors you. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I am no longer a child, and my faith lies with those who have earned it. Damn right. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperos so low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. So that answered one thing. It is La Habrea behind it, but left me with a lot of questions. Well, let's just continue onward, or we're never going to get anywhere. Just what was that familiar after? Thank you. If you had shown up even a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There's but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation, and keyword alike. Erathonos seems to have quite the story to tell. Perhaps we should lend an ear. It's gonna be rough going up against a member of the Convocation of 14. And so there can be but one conclusion. La Habrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There is logic to that. There are a few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the Convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keywords comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetuated here could not have been done by the La Habrea I know. You have met him, yes? Do you think he is capable of this? I think he is more than capable of this. Like, he possessed Thancred way back at the start, like, fuck. And then, like, there's that other shit with, like, I think it was, I forget what he did with that part with King Thordan or whatever. I don't remember if he gave him the eye or what. La Brea is capable of far more than you know. He's probably doing much worse stuff, to be honest. Like whatever he's going after here. Is he? So you believe La Brea to be a man of few scruples, if it brings his goals closer in reach. That alone should be enough. But let me assure you, La Brea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be one to let his emotions stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. I wonder if there's something more going on here, because... See, I don't really know why Timaeus would be pushing back so much on this if there weren't the possibility of there being like something else going on. There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandaemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomforting to behold. Then we must move forward with no excess of caution. La Brea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandaemonium. We can safely assume the other keywords won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let us make our way through Abyssos one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Erythonos' side, in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? Of course. That's my job. Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyword's magic will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scales somewhat. I trust you shall be liberal with your weight. Abyssos, the fifth circle. About time I get into it. It's been about half an hour since I started recording or so. A little over. Judging from the demeanor of that familiar, there is little doubt that our enemy has a tight grip on Pandaemonium and its denizens. We will be vulnerable. Just what is La Brea planning, and what role do I play in his schemes? Yeah, I'm curious as to that. It's like, what use could La Brea have for someone who is inept at magic? Alright, let's get into it. The fifth circle. I'm not sure how far I'm going to get today. I'm hoping to, at the minimum, finish the Abyssos raids. That way I have like all that stuff recorded and ready to make into a video. I would like to finish up the the entire raid series as soon as possible, and then start up with the Mists of the Realm raids, because I want to get I know there's like some really good lore in these two raid sets, and I really want to get into that. and then once I finish that up, I can start making maybe some other videos. I've got some recording footage for, I've been doing the Barbarecia extreme trials, and I've done that, so I've got some footage to edit up to of me getting my first clear and getting absolutely like curb stomped by the boss. So I'm hoping to make that into a pretty good video. I'm gonna have to put a lot of edits in that one though, so I'm not sure when I'm gonna get it out. And then I'm thinking about doing a video about why I switched from Summoner to Machinist when Endwalker hit, and I think I've got some stuff. I gotta go through some like old footage though, because I think I have like one video that I took of me playing Summoner back in way back in Endwalker, though I was technically playing a Stormblood trial. I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna just kind of go through like my reasoning of like why I switched over, and hopefully get that into a video as well. I feel like that'd make a pretty good video. After that, I was thinking of, I don't know, I was thinking of going through like maybe like each Final Fantasy game in order, which is, I know it's kind of like a long thing and kind of dumb, but I don't know. I think that would be really cool. Because like the only games I've played in the Final Fantasy franchise is FF14, and then I've played FF15, but I've already started FF15 and I've gotten quite a ways into it, so I don't know if I don't think I'll do any like recording of that game. I think I'll just play that one on my own, which I think is okay because I don't think a lot of people like that game. And I think it's a pretty good streaming game rather than like a recording game. So I'm just gonna like chill with that one and play it on my own time. But the other ones, I think I'm gonna go through and just make some videos about those. That'd be pretty cool just to have that. And then, because I wanted to try other FF games too, like FF11 I wanted to try. So I'll see about that. But I'm gonna go through it in order, I think, if I can. I've heard there's like I've looked at a few of them before, and I feel like there's a couple that have problems with like they haven't been like updated or something, and so they don't really run properly on like like Windows and stuff. And so I will see what I can do about that when that comes up as an issue. And we'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, I think I have to mod a few of them to actually get them to run smoothly or something. We'll see how it goes. Forcibly teleported. Oh damn, that's... I like the music. Hey, it's Carbuncle! I've seen the memes where it like compares this to the Summoner Carbuncle. It's pretty funny. Proto Carbuncle. Damn. What an absolute unit. Where'd everybody else go? It's just me here? Oh, and we got the spikes again. That means instant death. I'm not falling asleep this time, so hopefully this fight goes better than the last one. Alright, we're jumping right into it, let's see. Wait, what is this? Staff? What is... So everyone's... Oh, I see. Ruby Glow. What does this mean? So just don't stand in that, I guess? Tank Buster. don't have to understand all the mechanics as long as I don't die. There's the same staff markers again. What does that mean? Is this okay to stand here? Oh shit. They're folded up? I've never seen that before. The AoE circles for this. Yeah. Oh, I'm not paying attention. I got my gauge full. Proto Carbuncle, so I'm guessing behind it again since there's like no difference between the last time it was casted. Sonic Owl. Is that like a, what is that, like a knockback or just a raid wipe? It's a raid wipe. So we can't move? Oh shit. It got out. Dude, this thing's badass. What the fuck? Hey, I think am I good standing here? I guess. Yeah, because I guess it's where the crystals fall, I suppose, is where you can't stand, huh? In those quadrants. If I had to guess. I think this is I think this is the Savage one that people are frogging right now. I mean, it's probably less prog now and more just people clearing. Because I think it's been out a while now. Of course, I've never done Savage before, so what do I know? I'm hoping to do it soon, though. Maybe just try it out a little bit. I think it'd be fun. Everybody's moving over here. Probably not. Should probably. Oh, they're expanding a lot. Oh, is that the Devour thing? What does that mean? We have to stand on this? What does that mean? Oh shit. I don't know if I want to stand on that. What does this mean? Everybody's standing over here. I'm just gonna follow them. Oh, okay. So it's... I see. Now we just wait and see what crystals fall where. Okay, so this isn't safe quadrant over here? Yeah, I think so. No, it's not. So we move after those ones go off, I guess? And there's that. Alright, moving. Yeah, okay. light gathers. Okay, so I think this is the same thing, right? Move behind it. Yeah. Yeah, because that one's gonna go off over there, and then they have the slime over there. So, isn't this a behind thing, or maybe just move over and we're safe? Okay. Yeah. Here for that one to go off. I don't even have to cross over because there's no crystal here. Oh wait, I'm going to. Yeah. Come on, get the stuff. Alright, so that's a pretty cool fight. It's had, I think it's I don't know, it's a two-phase one. They jumped out of the cage. Ah, here they are. So I guess they're alright. Easy GG. I like the environment they made for this too. It's got all the Venus flytraps in the background. Again, I don't think I want any of this stuff. I'm just gonna go. So this is where research is conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Erathonos and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone you are a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might observe you further. Yo, is that La Habrea? He's older than I thought he would be. Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long. But I believe we can forego introductions unless I have misread you. Huh. La Habrea. I'm all too familiar, Paragon. A charming appellation, but I'm afraid I hold no such position. No, I am La Habrea of the Convocation of 14. As a spoiler. I spoiled the future for him. Oh no. Butterfly effect, now we're all gonna die. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to aether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin aether and in an unfamiliar composition besides. It is of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will beget the same results. I would advise you to think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and Erythonos' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall you meet Athena. What the fuck? She's alive? Wait, is he trying to bring her back? Mother, you would dare hide behind her name? Is that why they were studying the Phoenix? What the fuck? Yo, he's trying to bring back the dead. Listen well, Erythonos. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies for protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Erythonos, wait. There is a question I must needs ask first. If you truly are La Habrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. Is it Olympus? A simple request. Thymaeus, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as are you. I have my answer. The La Habrea that I knew took pride in the convocation, and you would never suffer its denigration. You sully his station with this farce. Thymaeus, what are you saying? La Habrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Wait, what? Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real La Habrea would never call me by the name Thymaeus. Well, who is it? If it's not La Habrea, then who? What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Olympus? So it is Olympus. I knew it. Wait. No. What? Imposter, you have no right to claim that form, that mask. I'm so confused. Wait, who are you? Are you La Habrea? What? Who? 'Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of La Habrea. And his name is La Habrea. So this is La Habrea? The mask of La Habrea, a man who values his position above all, who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. What the fuck? Okay, wait, so there's a La Habrea, and then there's another La Habrea, but one La Habrea isn't real, or one La Habrea murdered somebody. What? Is the fake La Habrea like a thing that came from Pandemonium? Was it like a failed cloning thing, or like what happened here? Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right? Any worth you have hinges on what you so despise. They're both claiming to be La Habrea. What the fuck? I don't understand. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Erathonos, listen well. Okay, so this isn't La Habrea. I am Hephaestus. I am Hephaestus. Erathonos, listen well. I am Hephaestus. And it is I whom you should call father. Huh? What in the name of creation? We would do well to not stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order, Elidibus. Let us return to safety so you may provide it. Ah, that sounds more like the La Habrea I know. So that's La Habrea, and the other person was not La Habrea. But La Habrea isn't that guy's father? Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As La Habrea said, I am Elidibus, one of the convocation and emissary of their will. For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. I had a feeling, whatever your name is, you're still familiar to me. I know a thing or two about deception myself. I mean, that's probably on point, considering everyone thinks I'm a familiar. Two's good too. Damn. I know a thing or two about deception myself. That is reassuring to hear. The burdens we bear are heavy enough without adding a grudge to their weight. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as La Habrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. Please, help him. Save him. Who, Erathonos? That was confusing. Ugh. Alright, well, somebody explain what the fuck happened. I see Elidibus has chosen to keep odd company, such a vexing composition of aether you possess. I still don't understand. Neither do I. Alright, Timaeus. As you are aware of by now, I am known as Elidibus. After my dear friend Azim and I detected irregularities in Pandaemonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I am sure La Habrea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was, so I shall save that story for later. First, wait. He's eager, so I'm gonna tell him later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azem nor I had ever met you in the flesh, you came with his highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to himself was out there amused Azem to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in his heart that you would become a formidable ally. Furthermore, I have heard stories that Mistress Fana, who held the position of Azem previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. She, too, now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Aware though I was of the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe that you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. Well, thank you. Crit hit. I admit my own grasp on what just occurred is somewhat tenuous. Doubtless La Habrea can elucidate matters for us. Now do we get an explanation? I don't know how long it's been since last we spoke, La Habrea, and truth be told, I had hoped we never would again. But what I see now is that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself La Habrea, and why is he the spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandaemonium. Did you think matters would simply sort themselves out? I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandaemonium, including the fact that Azem and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reasons to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the keywards stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestus' deception was almost childish in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning. I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another to masquerade as one of the convocation, not without good reason at least. As you well know, the name La Habrea is but a marker of my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. Hephaestus has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way, yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire, all the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. And now that he has awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandaemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster unto the star. As chief keyword of Pandaemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting La Habrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandaemonium if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet, as you can see by Arathonis' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Azim and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. 'Twas the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cause. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No! You spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes that Rain has stood against. I agree. Fuck you, La Habrea. Rain, is it? A being of such aether as I have never seen. What are you? He is the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to his stout arm and steadfast courage, we have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Rain. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. What was that you said about being an emissary? It's too soon to give up on saving the others. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Hephaestus, and I highly doubt La Habrea has been forthcoming with the truth. That is probably correct. I highly doubt La Habrea has been telling us the whole story. But we've managed to regain control of Asphodelos. He must be made to see that there's merit in continuing on this path. I have it. Speak in your official capacity as Elidibus the Emissary. Judge which approach is more sound, and even La Habrea would be compelled to listen. It's probably a hard thing to ask. As Elidibus, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Thameus can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust you'll find the best way forward. That is true. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandaemonium outright and in taking time to rescue its researchers, and neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness Rain's might and Erathonis' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandaemonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Rain, come find me when you're finished. Erathonis is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray lend an ear to his trouble, that their weight might be lightened. Oh, man. You have done all you can with words. Only your actions can convince me now. Despite recent developments, our plan remains unchanged. Pray call me Thameus for the time being. It shall put us all in the correct mindset, and in fact I may be coming to prefer that name. Alright, let's go talk to Erathonos. You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, La Habrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world, and they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Hephaestus has secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried if Pandemonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words. The truth of my mother. While La Habrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hephaestus would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not La Habrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know what befell her. What do you think, Rain? Does the La Habrea you know have any regards for the lives of others? Or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? He once used my ally as a vessel for his own twisted ends. But I have no idea what he might be in this age. I have no idea what he'd be like in this age. This age. Just how long has it been since you met? Regardless, I'd like to try and view him as he is now. Another opinion would be much appreciated. But it is plain there is much to consider. Thank you, Rain. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion where he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to La Habrea that we are capable of saving Pandemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be to regain control of Abyssos. Although I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those depths than any of us, and seeing as how we require every advantage we can afford. Rain, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities, and may deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do. Researchers of different layers seldom contact one another unless work is involved, and I know next to nothing about the keyword of Abyssos. Any morsels of information La Habrea can offer would be a boon. Erathonos appears to have a deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Azem. Your unusual aether does not mark you as a familiar. It is unlike anything I have seen, even among the countless concepts I have observed. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Azem never ceases to surprise. The previous Azem was much the same, and taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elidibus have conducted yourselves in this manner, the true danger of Azem's nature is its tendency to infect all those he comes into contact with. Emic Selk said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssos, I take it? Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keywords reach as far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they have been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they have been transferred into the deeper circles. Yet Hephaestus would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of Hegemon, keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I sense those qualities within her still, there is something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that's because she's already been twisted into a hemethos, doubtless against her will. Rain, Timaeus, we must rescue her from that cruel fate, and if we cannot, we can at least seal her away until we find the means to undo the damage. Yeah, let's not repeat what happened at the last one if we can. Your allies make you bold, Erythonos. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Alright, 6th circle. Let's go. So we're facing the keyword already, which is kind of surprising. I thought the keyword would be at like the last stage of Abyssos, but I'm okay with this, I suppose. Hishman was a woman of reason and logic. She would never be swayed by Hephaestus' wretched schemes. I hope she was not made to suffer overmuch. Let us not change a strategy that has served us so well thus far. Bring Hegemon to heal Rain, and Erythonos and I shall inter her when the time is right. Now we prove our strength. Only then can we free the other warders and unveil the truth hidden in Pandaemonium's shadows. Alright, here we go. Let's see, what are we up against? That's different. Turn my volume up a little bit. Music's nice. There's no spikes this time, but that doesn't mean I don't die if I walk into that. Fuck? What? Alright. Chorus XU. Okay, is this, so does this alternate? Oh shit, what the fuck? Is it always to the side and the boss is just turning? Dark 4. Yeah, okay. Transmission? Wait, what the fuck is this? Do I back out? Back go in? Wait, what is this? What is this? What is this? Let's take control of the body once this affects it. Wait, what do I do about that? Oh shit, that's what happens? Well, at least no one got hit, I suppose. Yeah, okay, I know that now. The description didn't say anything about that. The synergy is just Buster. Etheric Early in the morning. Okay, that's this thing. So good. It's not gonna like expand beyond the. Oh shit! I didn't see that. Oh, I need to wake up a bit. Oh shit! No! 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 Wait. So if it starts with an S, it's forward and back, and if it starts with a C, is it side to side? The cast, I think. Okay. I'm just gonna be eating bone stacks. I can tell that. Okay, at least I know what to do this time. Okay, how long do I have? Okay, their numbers are going, mine's not yet. Oh, fuck. God damn it. That's not great. 4, okay, turn away. I'll just do a little bit of that. Okay, let's see. Let me just stand off to the side now. I don't remember this cast. Ah, yeah, this. What the fuck does that mean? What? Here? Stand here? Okay, yeah. Ethereal exchange, I don't know what that is. So I guess, stand here? I think this is how that works, right? Or am I wrong? Oh, I'm wrong. Okay, I think I get it now. It's like the 4 on one side and swap with the 4 on another side, the 4 squares. So I think I should be able to get it next time. Unless they like changed rotation as well, which I would not be able to tell. Okay, so I come over here, and I can stand in this one. Right? Okay, wait, fuck, it's gonna start doing a thing. Fuck! I was right about the other one, though. Oh, no, I'm dazed! What happened? Why can't I move? Lovely. Okay. Alright. Transmission again. Okay, this is just a normal one. It's 5, 4, 3, alright, turn around, sure thing's good. Alright, there we go. Serial exchange. Yeah, I'm gonna want to move. Oh, god damn it. It's gonna do a thing. Oh, no, 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 no. I went to the wrong one. God damn it. I don't know how to... I don't know. I'm just stupid, I guess. I don't know. I can't figure out the side cast, the front cast. I don't know. It's too much. I'm stupid. I can't figure it out. I'm gonna have to watch it when I'm not in the middle of it. Or just queue in again and like figure it out. I am just going into all these blind, which, you know, it's just kind of how it goes. I actually used to watch like a lot of guides with this stuff. Oh shit. Like I used to watch guides going into stuff because I was always like afraid that I would like I'd screw up, and then that'd be like a personal responsibility thing, like people expect you to do it right. And so I used to like watch guides for all this stuff before I go in it. But I kind of like got out of that after a few expansions. That was back when I first started playing MMOs. Alright, let's see if this works. Nice. I'll give it comment to the healer for keeping me alive most of the time, even though I was being really dumb. See, I really like the first boss of Asphodelos because on those like side stuff, you could like there was like a tell. You didn't have to just read the cast and know. There's like a tell for it. So I don't know if there's a tell for this boss. Because it's like for the first boss, he would like throw the chain to the side, right, and then he would like start spinning it, and then that'd be like the side thing. And then in the fourth circle, there was the vampire guy, and I didn't notice this during the fight, but I noticed this when I was like editing it. But he'd like throw his cloak to the side, and like you'd and like at the marker where you would go, at the marker there would be like a sword icon, and then there'd be like a cape icon, and depending on which icon there was floating above that, would depend on whether you would stand in front or to the side. And I don't know if I've missed that type of tell for like this boss as well, or if I really do just have to read the casts and like remember the name of the cast for the side or like the front stuff. So I think the front ones are only for that boss are only coming out for the turning part, right? And so I think every other cast is to the side, and I think I just got confused because of all the stuff happening. So I imagine if I go in again, I'll probably do a lot better, though I don't know. I can't promise I wouldn't be picking up at least one or two golden segs. I'll probably queue back into it later just to like see if I'm right about that. As is to be expected, Erythonos appears quite pleased with our victory. I could sense from here that Hegemon has been contained. The effect of Hephaestus' tinkering is even more dire than I had imagined. We've won. The keyword is sealed away and alive this time. La Habrea can't deny us now. Grab some more crit hit. Servant of Violence. Our plan was a success, although I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemon has been sealed away, and now you have no choice but to admit the merit in our methods.
You have the right of it. I'm not so petty as to deny the achievements of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Moreover, this being, aether as thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue a Hematheos, has made this ordeal far more interesting. Then we have leave to continue? As for that, there is one among you whose very presence put the others at risk. 'Twould be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandaemonium. And of whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom. So long as we each do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a neophyte can upraise his companions. That's something that Rain and Thameus taught me. While I do not wish to express any bias, I am inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, it is that we are together greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path, and to act before the path lies closed to us. Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hephaestus in chains, that's the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm aware that destroying Pandaemonium would rid us of him, but the cost is far too great. And I admit, I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandaemonium again. You are capable, that much is plain, yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live, and I shall not allow this talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle, this is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark upon. You cannot be ignorant to the folly of Hephaestus' words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Think, Erathonos. I have already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it to see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives? What was that foolish braying about saving them? Merely a performance to hide your childless devotion to your mother? Please, such barbs will get us nowhere. We should first discuss... You would call me fool? You who murdered your wife in service of your ambition? For the sake of the star, no doubt. Ugh, I can hear it again. That voice inside my head. Huh? I know who to follow. Hephaestus. Father. Mother. Oh, I love you so. And this voice will guide me to you. No, listen not. Listen not, Erathonos. Apologies, you taught me that a calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp the rudder. They got him. Unlucky. And now I guess he's kind of like back under the same thing he was under when we found him, right? Except who knows what's gonna happen now. This was Hephaestus' work, no doubt. It seems he learned from his previous failure. Hephaestus is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Erathonos, it made short work of his reason. From the moment he laid eyes upon me, I could sense his hatred and rage simmering below the surface. It was but a matter of time until it spilled forth, and that was when he fell into the spell's embrace. A magic woven with such skill that Erathonos himself failed to notice until it was too late. If this is the measure of Hephaestus' power, then the other keywards had little chance to resist it. We saw his work during our encounter with Hesperos. Doubtless Hephaestus' magics fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there was something else besides. Did you not feel the presence of another? Yeah, the distant voice. As I thought, someone was trying to warn Erathonos, but whom? Could it have been one of the keywards? Alas, their warning arrived too late. I had already provoked Erathonos past the point of no return. I bear the burden for this failure. In my stubbornness, I could but scorn the boy, and Hephaestus knew that. And now I dread to think of the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness. At least he has some regret, right? There is time yet to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, giving us a firm foothold from which to brave Pandaemonium's lowest level. The enemy is within reach. Just as with Hesperos, Erathonos is in danger of being consumed by Hephaestus' spell. However, I have faith that he will not easily lose sight of himself. The way forward is clear. La Habrea, pray tell us all you know of what we shall find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyboard lies in wait. The deepest level of Pandaemonium is called Tartaros, and your passage shall be challenged not only by a keyword. Hephaestus has laid traps in every corner of its halls. You have no hope of surviving far past the threshold. That, I expect, is where rain shall shine. His dissolute ether shall allow him to slip through the traps unimpeded. We saw it when Hephaestus had no effect, and doubtless even he has yet to devise a countermeasure. Then time is of the essence. Hephaestus is already well aware that you can match a keyword in battle. He will not stand idle while you stroll past his other defenses at your leisure. Agreed. However, clarity will be indispensable to our success, and I'm afraid I must insist upon it ere we depart. We have yet to discern to what end Hephaestus would use Erathonos. If you know, I would ask that you enlighten us. And then there is the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke Erathonos' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing would be equally so. How are we to grapple with what plagues our friend and drives our foe if you refuse to acknowledge it? I do acknowledge it. I wish only to spare those who feel it still greater pain. I really want to answer with, like, this, because he's been a bit of a dick, but I'll be nice and I'll say, I'll ask if he meant to protect Erathonos with his silence. It obviously didn't work, but... How dare you? How dare I what? No, you're right. The flame for Erathonis' fate rests squarely on my shoulders. Very well, I shall lay bare the truth, but only after the foe before us has been laid low. God, these names! Hang on, let me figure out how to pronounce that. Okay, I have to pull up Google Translate every time a new person is introduced. That's how this raid series has been going. The remaining keyword is Agdistis. She has served in Pandaemonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless even among the keywords. Hephaestus knows that losing her would mean the end of his experiments. He has hidden her in a space unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your aether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Agdistis. We shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so I do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar, I shall do my best to provide you with ground on which to fight and phantom allies who aid you. As for the internment, I have yet to think of a foolproof method. Internment shall not be necessary. What do you mean? From here I can sense Agdistis' essence, but it is scarcely recognizable. Hephaestus was more ambitious with her than he was with Hejmon. She has been transfigured such that barely a scantling of herself remains. We can but take comfort in what a mercy the underworld will be for her. Alright, so she's too much of a monster to bring back. The seventh circle, alright. So we're already on to the next keyword. Back to back, huh? I wonder what that means for Tartarus. Alright, the seventh circle. And that's where I'm going to be leaving it for now, but I'll see you next time.